Yo, welcome to the Charged Up Flagship store in the heart of Richmond, Virginia. We in downtown, the Arts District, historic Jackson Ward. I'm Noah O, CEO, Charged Up ENT. One of many members of Charged Up ENT, but this is our latest business venture. This is our flagship store. It's been just a long time coming. Ever since I was a kid, I would always mess around with clothes, customizing clothes for people, customizing sneakers, customizing like Timberlands, Wallabies, trying to make t-shirts and other merch, but I didn't really know the process. So over the years, through my hip hop career, I've had a lot of support for like my merch. It started off with just t-shirts. Then when I dropped in on Lost Suspects, we put out the ski mask, which was a real popular item. I put out some of my albums on vinyl, cassette, and CD. So just really things took a leap during COVID. There were no like PPP or whatever it's called, but there were no protective masks available during COVID. So I kind of had to jump on things. I went over to Europe in 2017 and I seen, when I was on the plane going to Europe, a lot of people overseas were already wearing these face masks. So I had a BAPE mask that was given to me by my manager, shout out Ricky Parker. And it's just some, people that's in the street where, they're aware that like the BAPE masks were a thing, especially in Asia and Japan, China. So I was already thinking that one day I wanted to get these masks. So during COVID, things really took off with the Charged Up face masks. We had a lot of support for those. So gradually, just over time, the last few years, things had grown to a point where it was time for me to think about the next level, and that's what the store represents. I have a lot of things that, like in here, that have a personal significance. Like this logo is something I've been sitting on for a few years. It has the Richmond Coliseum, which shortly won't even be in Richmond anymore. So I want to, honor that. That's like one of my just big memories. When I first moved to Richmond, I used to play and hoop it up right around there. And then originally I'm from the Bay Area, from San Francisco. So this logo right here kind of represents, my life story in a nutshell. And it's very ironic because over the last few years when the Richmond Flying Squirrels came to Richmond, they're actually the AA affiliate of the San Francisco Giants. So it's like, that's my whole story, San Francisco and Richmond, Virginia. So shout out to the Squirrels. Over here, we have something that like really means a lot to me. This is a replica of the Richmond Braves scoreboard at the Diamond. So there's a local artist, craftsman, Bobby Carrington. Bobby Carrington made this. It has, the original Richmond Braves logo, but we made it say Charged Up. This scoreboard is like fully customizable as far as the lights. I can write whatever I want on it. And Bobby Carrington actually was someone who's very instrumental in the Richmond streetwear community. He helped build Round 2, like pieces for Round 2. He actually helped build Kicks Boomin'. So shout out to Thomas and the homies at Kicks Boomin'. Bobby Carrington, all the racks, shelving, flooring, he actually built that as well. So, that's what we have here. Over here, something that like has a lot of personal meaning too. This came out of Plan 9 in Carytown. But Plan 9, man, you know what I'm saying? Plan 9 has been selling my albums for years, ever since I first started. So when I knew I wanted to have like music items in here, and just shout out to Plan 9 Music, man. And these days and times when you don't even need to buy physical music anymore. You can buy MP3s or downloads or stream music. They still sell, vinyl for all the, people that love to collect vinyl, DJs that are looking for samples. Make sure you stop by Plan 9. So that's where this case comes from. Right here, we got some original bleachers from Davidson College. Davidson is where Steph Curry went to college. I'm from the Bay Area originally. Steph plays for the Warriors, so we don't even know, man. Steph Curry might have sat on these seats, him and his dad. But, oh yeah, even the numbers on it. These 96, 97, 98, that's when the Bulls won the one of their three-peats, so like those numbers stick out to me. Right here we have a turnstile from the University of North Carolina with the Dean Smith Arena where the Tar Heels play. This is original turnstile, it works. So it's like, you know, this is like just a antique piece right here, man. And then we have like the home plate, because I wanted this to symbolize, like when you come to Charged Up, this is home. You know what I mean? It's not only home for me, but I want Richmond, I want anybody, you know, whether you're a Charged Up supporter, a hip hop lover, streetwear lover, like I want you to feel like this is home. So growing up, I was a big baseball fan. When you come to Charged Up, you step on home place, this is your home too. So that's what I want the community to feel. These bats right here, these bats were from my cousin, Chris Aguila, was one of the first Filipino Americans to make it to the major leagues. He's Filipino Pacific Islander. So shout out to my family, Uncle Tommy, Auntie Marianne. So I'm real proud of this. I was blessed to see my cousin actually play in Richmond when the Braves were here. He played in the minor leagues and played the Richmond Braves, but he was drafted by the Marlins. He played for the Mets and the Pittsburgh Pirates as well. So shout out to my cousin Chris. Anytime I go to a different city, I look online, see where the boutiques are that people shop at, not the chain stores. The boutiques that stuck with me, or the ones that stayed in my mind, the first time I went to this boutique in LA called Apartment 4B. Apartment 4B just has a really dope aesthetic. It looks like you're in an apartment in New York City in the 90s. It has furniture in it. And Bodega in Boston looks like a bodega. So I knew when I was ready to do a store, I wanted it to be an experience, you know, not just come get a shirt. People can buy clothes anywhere online right now, but people will remember experiences. If you build out and curate your space well, they'll take pictures. So I've always been a big fan of art installations. So that's how I wanted this store to be. It's not just, you know, a empty room that sells shirts and hats. The store in itself, I wanted to be a piece of art as well. This is very similar to like when you go to, you know, an art show. I put little placards around that really tell the story of what each of these pieces mean. Everything in here is kind of part of my story, Richmond's story. So that's really what I want the store to represent, is something bigger than myself. Like Charged Up, the meaning of Charged Up is really something, it really represents energy. You know, my homies, when one of us isn't feeling well, when we aren't at our best, that's what my team, that's like our you know, mindset. Like somebody is down, you pick them back up, re-energize them to keep going. You know, life is hard, especially in these times. So if anybody asks, like, what does Charged Up represent? It represents that energy. It's not a label. You know, one of our phrases, more than a label, it's a lifestyle. Charged Up is a lifestyle. Whether, you know, some people think of like, you know, the marathon or like No Limit, you know? Something that I'll be doing, I formed a nonprofit organization in my mother's honor. My mother's passed away a while back, but I'm gonna use the nonprofit and the stores really to serve the community. I want this to be a place where, and I'm gonna put events together where I can connect, you know, young entrepreneurs with other business owners, people who look like them, who sound like them, who share the same story, to show people like these things are possible. These, you know, school might not teach you how to do it, but there are people in this community, and there's great people from Virginia. We have a long legacy to be proud of. Just in this neighborhood alone, my friend's mother had a business in Jackson Ward on 1st Street called the Lemon Tree. It was there for 30 years. So when I see that, like, these are people that I could touch, that I could feel, you know, black people from Richmond or Latino people from Richmond. I'm Filipino people from this area who are able to, you know, take their circumstances, change it, you know, do something positive and keep going. I want to use this as a platform to give back and to build, continue to build the infrastructure that we need, especially for independent artists in Virginia. This is what this store will represent. Besides the fashion and the art, I am a hip hop artist, so these are a few of my projects that I put out physical copies of. I have vinyls. This is art. This is a group on Charged Up ENT, producer and MC. Dusty Reynolds, he's from Lower East Side in New York. My homie Hongo One. Hongo One is from Santa Ana, California, but he lives in Brooklyn as well. You'll see that we have like physical copies of some of my projects, whether it's cassette, CDs, or vinyl. But speaking of the music, I got a lot of new music on the way. My album Trilipino is coming. I have Analog Suspects with DJ Mentos. We have our second album coming. And I have a real special project dropping with the RVA Boombox. So like today, we're broadcasting live with the RVA Boombox. We have the live stream set up. RVA Boombox is a Richmond, Virginia-based platform, which primarily caters to underground hip-hop, the hip-hop that doesn't get, as much representation in the mainstream. And I'm part of that community as well. Something that would not be possible without Dodson Property Management, Doyen Stalwart Contractors, Wash Ave, Evolve Image. These are all people who behind the scenes help bring this to life. It's not just me by myself, so couldn't do it without them, man. And people like M.O.S S, you know what I mean? The independent platforms that give somebody like me a voice or help amplify my story and the things I'm trying to do. So follow me at Charged Up Noah O on all social media. And yeah, hit us up, chargedupent.com. Thank y'all. Yeah, I just want to, man, it's overwhelming. Thank y'all for showing up this early. Everybody out here has contributed to this moment one way or another, whether, just with your support, with your love, with your well wishes. People like Matthew teaching me the game. I just see a lot of faces who've helped me get to this moment. I'm just like very grateful. I didn't do none of this alone. From the people fighting to get me on Broad Street to the contractors. We did all this in about 30 days, but it was really like an 8-month process. So just to my family, my friends, man, I feel very blessed. I'm hoping to use this space where we can continue to build up this community, the hip hop scene, minority entrepreneurs, all of that, man. So thank y'all. And this is it, Charged Up Store grand opening.
Can we get a rap song?
Yo.
Can we get a rap song?
Nah, no rapping today.